snow or ice. Anything that the weather is going to contribute to having a hazard or a big effect on your day, we want to make sure you're aware of it. Now, the reason we do that is because it brings attention to a particular day or days even before any watches or warnings may be issued, sometimes a couple of days ahead of time. Give you a little bit of a heads up. Instead of just having a chance of rain there, we could let you know, hey, this looks like it's going to be pretty nasty. Go ahead and put that label on it, a Fox 26 storm alert day. What's really guiding our forecast today, what's really sort of the troublemaker, is that area of low pressure. And whenever we have these big dips in the jet stream, generally downstream from them is where you get the severe weather. And we have that beginning to pop up right now across an area just off to the north of Dallas and just off to the south of Oklahoma City. And that's part of a big system that's already spawning some tornadoes across the Midwest, like up around Illinois, Indiana, even heading up to parts of the Great Lakes. It's really coming down right now. This is the outlook for tornadoes today, and you don't want to be in this area. This is the area that is highlighted by NOAA's Storm Prediction Center as being not only at an elevated risk for tornadoes, but where you see those black hash marks, that is the area where we could have EF2 or stronger tornadoes, and also long track tornadoes, long-lived tornadoes. Most of the time around here, we end up with short-lived tornadoes that are not on the ground, for very long and are relatively small most of the time. But it may not be the case up here today. So this is the Texas and Oklahoma state line. So just to the north of that into parts of eastern Oklahoma and then much of Arkansas at risk for seeing some of those very severe thunderstorms today. Now we're in the light green shading here, which means that there is a chance for thunderstorms, and that's mainly tonight, not necessarily an elevated risk for severe storms. Now, once we go here to College Station and then back up to Waco for today and then especially tonight, that's where you're going to run into a better chance for maybe seeing some storms that could produce some hail. Now, looking ahead at tomorrow, the yellow region is the one that's highlighted by NOAA's Storm Prediction Center as having a elevated risk for seeing hail or damaging winds. The tornado threat is not zero, but I'll tell you it's not a high tornado threat. And the greatest risk is going to be out to our west, where there's going to be a front moving in, and it may interact a little bit more strongly with the jet stream. Across our part of southeast Texas, you'll notice we're either in the green or the yellow. Yellow out to the west, darker green here in Houston, which is the possible category for seeing severe thunderstorms. So let's talk about how much rain could be coming our way as we head into Friday and your weekend. Well, I'm going to show you a couple different computer models. One, which is this one, our Futurecast, is a very high resolution model. So it really depicts really small, I guess, pixels, if you will, of where that rain is going to be falling. So here's late in the day Friday. We add rainfall on top of that heading into Saturday, and then maybe a couple more rounds on Sunday. So when all is said and done, notice it's picking up on some of these locations where you're getting into the oranges and reds. So we're talking about 2 to 3 inches of rain and then maybe even more. This particular model not showing it in Houston, not to say it couldn't happen. Now this is the GFS model, which sort of paints with more of a broad brush. It's a lower resolution model that covers the entire globe. And this one is showing primarily the focus of the rain either to the west or south of Houston. At this point, though, I don't think that we can bank on that. We need to definitely just stay vigilant, taking a look at our Fox 26 weather app and downloading the Fox 26 news app as well, heading into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Fox 26 storm alert days are in effect there. Windy and muggy today, a temperature tomorrow of around 82 with a 60% rain chance, and that'll be followed up by a 70% chance for some showers, thunderstorms, and some heavy ones here heading into Saturday and Sunday, including St. Patrick's Day, before we dry out heading into next week. And after that, we're going to be enjoying some nice weather once we get past all of this nastiness. Problem is, it's going to be hanging around here for a good solid 3 days. So it means each day you'll have a good chance of getting in on rain. So when all is said and done, just about all of us will get rain, right? Starting to warm up out there. Our current conditions right now in Humble, 77 degrees at this hour. A little warmer in Pearland at 78, and Webster, warmer yet, 79 degrees here at 11:35. And so those temperatures will be climbing their way into the 80s and even some middle 80s later on today. What I want you to notice, though, the wind. South-southeast wind at 15. There's a south wind at 15. There's a south-southeast wind at 18. And the sun is peeking through here in Houston, so that's going to begin the warming process. We'll probably head toward the middle 80s before all is said and done for the day today. 77 right now. That's at Hobby Airport with a partly to mostly cloudy sky and very breezy winds coming up from the south. So these winds are carrying in a lot of Gulf moisture. Very, very warm air and muggy air in place, and that's all actually moving up into North Texas through the Midwest, really helping to ignite some of those thunderstorms and then sending a bumpy pattern in our direction for Friday through Sunday. Each of these numbers represents wind speed. So we're looking at the wind direction here coming in off the Gulf. Right now in Houston, about a 15 to 17 mile per hour breeze. Wharton is reporting a 21 mile per hour wind right now. And when you look at the wind gusts, which are the brief bursts of wind, what's called the instantaneous wind, Palacios really getting hit right now with some high winds, 34 miles per hour along the coastline from Freeport and Surfside Beach area back over to Galveston. An onshore wind gusting up to 24, and please be aware that that tends to cause rip currents along the coastline. It still is spring break. So if you are headed down to the coast, or maybe even that somebody, maybe your kids went down to the beach today or something, I want to just send them a text, remind them, say, hey, the winds, the way they're set up today, favors rip currents, and that could be dangerous. And so we just want to make sure we keep everybody safe. Right now, 73 for Galveston. We are reaching the upper 70s in Katy right now at 79. That's 78 in Tomball. Also 78 up there in Huntsville as well. And these temperatures are still in the process of climbing, so they'll get a little bit warmer from here on out. All right, here's what's happening right now. So you'll see the clouds actually filling in here on the map, and that's because the sunrise allows us to see the visible satellite imagery. So we do have mostly cloudy skies around here, but some sunshine breaking through, especially from Houston down to the coastline. By the way, you see that blue right there? About a foot of snow in the Denver area. Can you believe it? So we're looking at high temperatures in the middle 80s. They're looking for 8 to 12 inches of snow in Denver today. Pretty wild weather. All right, let's talk about flooding risk. Now, notice this does say today, but it also, the way this works is it runs from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. It's the way they do it. It works in universal time. So this actually goes through tonight and into the overnight hours tonight. So it does mean that there could be some downpours maybe tomorrow morning before 7 a.m. Doesn't really cover us for this afternoon. Now looking ahead at tomorrow through tomorrow night, notice this large yellow area is the little bit higher risk for seeing some flooding taking place, and that could mean some street flooding, some heavy isolated downpours. So that's for tomorrow, and then skipping ahead here at Saturday, we'll have a chance north and south. Remember those models I showed you? Showed some, swath of rain to the north, a swath of rain to the south, and that may be adjusted, as we get new model runs a little bit closer to Houston. But the bottom line is here we're looking ahead at Friday, Saturday, all looking like we could bring us some heavy downpours. Rodeo Carnival, if you're trying to decide right now, hey, do I go this afternoon or do I wait? I would recommend you go ahead and go today. Now, it is going to be muggy and windy and all of that stuff, but the thing is, if you wait till tomorrow, you're just rolling the dice. You may be able to squeeze out a few good hours there at the rodeo, but just be advised there could be some strong storms in the area from time to time tomorrow, and the same for Saturday. So I would say today is probably a good idea. Here is your outlook for weather where you live. Let's say, for example, in Humble, you know what, looking pretty good there with temperatures rising from about 80 degrees at 11 a.m. to about 84 for a maximum temperature today. And that goes for the rest of the area as well as we head toward high temperatures rising into the middle 80s. Now, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, as I mentioned, these are storm alert days. Next week, of course, the kids go back to school and the weather looks terrific, nice and brisk in the morning. Please stay with us for Fox 26 News at noon, 20 minutes away.